What's up guys, I'm the Senator, and I can confidently say that Mute is the best defender in Rainbow Six Siege. So in this video, I'm going to go over why that is, why you need to play him more, and how you can get better with him. But real quickly, before I get into that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Okay, so for me to say someone is the best at anything in Siege is a statement that I won't just throw around. We all have different opinions on different operators, whether they be offense or defense. But I believe that Mute has all the qualities that qualify him to hold the title of the best defender. Note that if you have a different opinion than mine, it's fine. There's a lot of amazing operators in Siege, so it's understandable as to why you might not think the same as me. These opinions are based around what I believe are the best qualities that a defender should have. Okay, so first let's take a look at Mute's kit. Now, the most important aspect of an operator's loadout in my eyes is the utility and versatility that can come out of it. So I have to ask myself, does this loadout bring utility to the team, and does it give a variety of options to those who have different playstyles? And to me, that's the most important thing. And that's why now, since Jaeger's getting nerfed down to a 2-speed, I believe Alibi is probably the best roamer now because she's an operator who has an extremely versatile loadout. But we're not going to be talking about Alibi right now, we're talking about Mute. Mute does have a loadout that can cater to a wide variety of players and does bring utility as well. He has a shotgun, SMG, pistol, and machine pistol at his disposal. That gives him so many options, and so that can cater to a specific player and a specific site. For instance, say that I'm defending top floor on Cafe. There's a lot of long angles on that site, so I may not want to run the shotgun, so I can run the MP5, and I can also run the machine pistol SMG-11 as my secondary. Whereas, as opposed to, playing top floor on Oregon, it's pretty close quarters, so I have the option of running a shotgun as well as the SMG-11. And you don't get that versatility out of a lot of operators. Most defenders are given an SMG and a shotgun as a primary, and 2 pistols to choose from as a secondary. And that's not very versatile in my eyes. Whereas with Mute, you can run the best shotgun in the game, and in my opinion, the best machine pistol as well. Now, you may disagree with me on the machine pistol opinion, considering that the Bearing 9 and the Roni are also great machine pistols, but there's no doubt in my mind that the M590A1 is the best shotgun in the game. And I'll die on this hill. That thing is just a cannon. But being able to bring the best shotgun in the game and one of the best machine pistols brings utility where it comes to rotation holes, hatches, while also giving you the ability to hit longer shots with the SMG-11. However, if you're not confident with the SMG-11, you can just bring the MP5, which is a fantastic SMG. However, you would be sacrificing the utility that comes from a shotgun. And those are just the weapons in his loadout. We haven't even really looked at the gadgets. With Mute, you get the choice between a bulletproof camera and a nitrocell. And in my opinion, that just adds to the versatility, because if you don't have a camera or information operator on your team, Mute can be that operator. But if you have that covered, you can bring a nitrocell, which everyone loves a nitrocell. One of the most satisfying things in Siege is getting a nitrocell kill. So that about covers the kit of Mute, and just overall, he has the most versatile loadout. Can cater to a lot of players, can cater to a specific site, playstyles. It's just what you want out of an operator. You want an operator that anyone can pick up and play. And you can do that with Mute. Okay, so now let's look at Mute's utility. And what I love about Mute Jammers is it brings 2 utilities in one. The first one being information denial. In Siege, the most important tool that either attacking or defender sides can have is the ability to obtain information. If you can cut off information from the opposing team, you can cripple them. If an enemy is not able to drone out an area, they're just going in blind, and that automatically adds to the advantage that the defenders already have. The only other operator that comes to mind that has the ability to take away information from the attackers is Mozzie. And the reason these 2 operators are the only ones that can do that is because attackers already have very little information at their disposal. They have 2 drones, and there are just a few attacking operators that have the abilities to obtain information as to where the defenders are. So 4 well-placed Mute Jammers can just completely cut off all information from attackers. However, throughout the round, the attackers will be able to get some of them, take them out, whether it be through an IQ or a Thatcher or just shooting them. But still, the attackers won't be able to drone effectively with well-placed Mute Jammers that are just littered around high-traffic areas and stairwells. And when you mix Mute Jammers with Mozzie Pests, you could just completely deny all information from the attackers. That's why the meta right now is a Mozzie and Mute, and Mozzie's being nerfed because he's so strong in this meta. And if you want to know more about how to play Mozzie effectively, I have a video for that. I'll try to remember to put a card up in the right hand corner. But just overall, information denial is so powerful in this game. So when it comes to utility, Being able to deny information is a tool that very few operators have. However, it is a tool that can cripple the attackers and force them to push in blindly. Another amazing use for mute jammers is the ability to prevent hard breachers from breaching a wall. And being able to deny information as well as prevent hard breachers from opening a wall is just such a powerful dual utility. And what I'm about to say can be an extremely hot take, so this is your trigger warning. And so when it comes to choosing between a bandit and a mute, unless you're going to bandit trick, your team is way better off choosing a mute. The dual purpose utility that you get from mute, in my opinion, is better than picking a bandit just because you want to run the MP7. So unless you plan on bandit tricking, pick mute. Another exception to that rule would be if you don't have a 3-speed roamer available, which may be viable due to the Jaeger nerf that's about to drop. But in most cases, unless you're going to bandit trick, I highly recommend you bring a mute instead of a bandit. But back to what I said about dual utilities. Operators that have dual utilities is something that is not extremely common in Siege. However, there are some examples of some operators that do have dual utilities. The only ones that really come to mind are Doki, who can get cams and do phone calls, Orcs who can go through walls and up patches, and Mozzie, who can take information away from attackers and then use their drones. And there's probably a couple more I missed, but overall, dual utility is something that's not very common in this game. However, it can be something that is extremely powerful. And even those operators that do have dual utilities, I don't think their utilities are as impactful as those that mute can bring to the game. You're always going to need a hard breach denier, and having one that denies information as well is a huge advantage to the defenders. Another aspect of mute that makes him so special is the lack of counters that he has. The only ops that can counter mute is a Thatcher, an IQ, and a very skilled Twitch who can somehow avoid the mute jammers, as well as a Maverick when it comes to trying to deny hard breachers. However, there's a huge list of operators that mute is able to counter. He can counter Thermite, Habana, Fuse, Dokkaebi, Blitz, Jackal, Finka, Yana, Twitch, operators that have breaching charges, operators that have drones, which is all the operators. And that's just an unbelievable number of counters that he has. And I can't really think of any other operator on defense who can counter that many operators. So hopefully I made the case as to why he's the best defender, but how do you get better with mute to those who are struggling with mute? And how you play mute is similar to the way that you play a smoke. You certainly play as an anchor, but to be effective with mute, like smoke, you have to become very good with the SMG-11. So when it comes to the SMG-11, it can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. So I recommend you practice with the SMG-11 and just try to get as comfortable with it as possible. It puts so many rounds downrange in such a short amount of time that if you can become good with it, you can become the most dangerous defender. So in my video on how to play smoke, I showed you a drill that you can use to get better with the SMG-11. And that drill is to go into a T-hunt and try to kill 3 enemies before reloading. And this forces you to take close engagements, and it forces you to hit your headshots, considering that you only get 17 rounds, and those rounds will go out pretty fast. So this time, I'm going to give you sort of a different drill. And this is already a popular drill, but we're just going to add the SMG-11 to it. So you need to go into your matchmaking settings and choose only presidential plane and only bomb. That should be the only matchmaking option that's selected. So go into the T-hunt and use only the SMG-11. Plant the bomb and practice your 180s. And so I'm just going to warn you right now, if you do this drill, you are going to die a lot. It is very, very difficult. Don't get discouraged though. It will make you so much better with the SMG-11. Doing these 180s on plane will improve both your aim and mechanical skill overall. But the long hallways on this map get you used to using the SMG-11 at longer ranges. And doing this for about 20 minutes, I can guarantee that you will notice a difference in how you use the SMG-11. And so that's all it really takes to become great with mute in terms of gunplay. He is very much an anchor who's designed to stay on site and hold angles, but if you become skilled with the SMG-11, you will be very, very deadly. The only thing that I can really add to this in order for you to, get better with mute is to just become familiar with the popular areas that are often droned out. Putting a jammer in those high trafficked areas can, prevent them from using their drones, and they can go in blind. Another tip is to not just put all of your jammers on site. And this is especially true whenever you have a Kaid or a bandit who's able to, get walls so you can focus more on intel denial. And so you can talk with your roamers as to where they're going to be playing on the map, so you can set mute jammers near them in order to deny the information from the attackers so your roamers don't get droned out. And so an example of this would be, Aviator and Games on Villa. When defending that site, a very popular push from the attackers is to try to take control of Master and try to take control of Astro and try to go north to south with their push on the top floor. And so it's very common to have at least one roamer over there in kind of Astro and Game, Statue, that kind of area in order to, try to delay them and stop their push. So being able to put 1 or 2 mute jammers in that area to prevent your roamer from being droned out will help him so much, because at that point, the attackers have to push in at some point and they're going to have to go in blind since your mute jammers are able to stop the drones. Most likely they will get, intel as to where roamers are eventually, but it'll waste a lot of their time, and most of defending in Siege is just a matter of wasting the attacker's time. So hopefully now you're going to start playing Mute more than you already are. He's just a phenomenal defender, and there really isn't a site or any map where Mute would not be helpful, and he's always a good pick. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're not sure who to bring, pick Mute. He brings so much utility to your team. Hope I was able to convince you, and I hope you got something out of this video. If you like it, go ahead and leave a like, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That'd help me out a lot. I'm the Senator, and as always, have a good one.